So here, talk through this Battleships puzzle by Murat and Tonta called 1, 2, 3, 4 for those clues happening 3 times around the periphery of this grid. There are some different ways we can always think to start in a battleships, and one is to look at where can the largest ship be placed. And just as a quick way to think through that, we've got 17 digits accounted for on the right side of the grid, so there are 3 in the empty rows, so none of these rows can actually contain a battleship. It can be vertically in this 4 column, and where there are 7 more cells to mark in the first and 6 columns, it could also be vertical in this first one. But some better things to probably do as we get started is to actually look at, I think, this row and this row. And why are those important? Well, they're one off of being complete. There's one more C to mark in them. And one thing that will sometimes do is in these cells, particularly cells buffered by a C down below, let's take this cell for example. If I put a ship in there, it marks off 2 of these as Cs, and that's not going to work. And so this cell here and this cell here would eliminate 2 cells and be no good. Same thinking works on this right side with these spots, and same thinking works here for these spots. So these 5 extra C cells are required because of how the 4 row up here works. Similar logic can be done exactly like that down bottom. So either of these cells would mark off these 2, this cell would mark off these 2, and these 2 can't be ships for the same reason. So we now have actually completed this column and this column, and in doing that, this one ship is already marked off. So we've actually completed that whole row. This ship marks off this cell, and notice what that now does. This 3 here has just 3 ship spots that it can use, and those are now required. A ship placed in this cell eliminates this cell, and that now means this 4 row is also set to be complete. So we get all these ships placed. That completes this column. In doing that, there are now just 3 spots and 4 spots in these bottom 2 rows for ships, so those are all forced. We've got 1, 2, 3 destroyers placed, so these have to be larger, or these become the cruiser, or this becomes the battleship. And we'll see that we have 4 submarines when we mark the remaining ones as C cells. So that's a good walkthrough for this puzzle by Murat. Hopefully you got some sense of these almost complete rows with just 1 more C to place, and how we could then use in the adjacent rows 1 above, 1 below, the 1st and 3rd row and the 6th and 8th rows. We could do a lot of eliminations that really got some momentum and the puzzle started. So thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you again soon.